I'm back. Next thing we're going to make is cornbread. I had to step off and get the cornmeal because I want to show this to you. Put this down below. Pennsylvania Dutch cornmeal typically is roasted, just as you would roast peanuts. There was a roasting machine at the last feed mill in our valley, well into the 1980s. The Dutch like to have roasted cornmeal because it adds a nutty flavor to things like scrapple and cornmeal mush. It's certainly not typical of my own southern tradition, where we simply had white cornmeal that was not roasted. So it adds a distinctive flavor to your cornbread, and that's how we're going to use it today. I go back and forth on the proportions of cornmeal to pastry flour. The more pastry flour you use, the lighter and more cake-like it's going to be. The more cornmeal you use, the cornier it's going to be, and the grittier and grainy. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to do a 50-50. We're going to do 1 cup of cornmeal roasted, 1 cup of pastry flour. Now, you're going to use 1½ teaspoons of aluminum-free baking powder. And I'm very clear about this. You want aluminum-free baking powder. This is Rumford. Again, I'm not paid by Mr. or Ms. Rumford, whoever owns it. But it says aluminum-free. You don't want heavy metals in your body. Once they're in your body, they don't come out. So make sure it says aluminum-free baking powder. Again, 1½ teaspoons. There is the 1. Here is the half. Right in like that. A ½ teaspoon baking soda. And then for this, we just put it right in. 3 tablespoons sugar. If you have a sweet tooth, you may want more sugar. Up to a 1/4 cup, actually, would be perfectly satisfactory in here. For some reason, corn and sugar go well together. 1 teaspoon salt. It still should be pretty well shakeable here and pourable. Let's see. Whoops, too much. There we go. Now, we're going to mix these up and combine them in a separate bowl. We're going to add 2 eggs. And again, we're going to try and see how much luck we have. That was lucky. There we go. And we'll try another one. Another winner. All right. You'll notice that our yolks of our hens are quite orangey. That's because our girls are free-ranging. They have free range of the whole property. They eat a lot of grass, and what I understand is that it's the grass that actually helps turn the yolk orange. It also gives a much richer, much darker flavor to the yolk as opposed to the blander yolks of factory-produced eggs. Now, 2 eggs, 1 cup buttermilk. Here we are. Over here. 1 cup buttermilk. And let's see, where did I put my mixing spoon? Oh, I think it's down here. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to step off camera and get a fresh one. Hold on for a sec. Here's my favorite mixing bowl, my mixing spoon. It has one corner off of it. A woman once noticed that and said, oh, it must have been worn away from centuries of use. And I said, no, I caught it in a blender. Somehow it's not as good a story. 1/4 cup of melted butter. Now, before we mix it, we're going to get our baking pan ready. Again, more butter, more butter. This is the joy of real-time videotaping. You get to see me do every single thing. Okay. Smear it around. Add some flour. All right. Now, the reason I held off on mixing the liquid with the dry is you want to do it as quickly as possible. You don't spend a lot of time with this. If there are still lumps, that is fine. A couple of quick stirs, and that's all you need. There. Now, we're going to pour it in. See, this doesn't make a lot. I actually could have used a smaller pan. You still see that some of the dried ingredients are still dry, but that's okay with this. That is our cornbread.